Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Leal, and we have already Jupiter in Cancer. So I wanted to comment that it is going to go through the first 25 degrees in a quite fast way in the next months. Then it is going to start the retrogradation on November of this 2025, and it is going to turn back to the degree 15 of Cancer. There it is where it awakens in 2026, but it is not going to do this tension with Saturn and Neptune in Aries that is creating right now. Other thing that I wanted to clarify, it is that the growth of Jupiter, whatever is the house that it is transiting, depends on the things that we are seeing, that we are choosing, and in our capacity to see situations as opportunities. But also, I think it is important to, to understand astrology as a way of understanding what is happening with us, of remembering our essence, of identifying where we need to redirect our energy. But it is not something that is going to solve our life or something that we have to blame of what is not flowing in the experience, because I don't think that this is the way of using it with responsibility. So coming back to Jupiter, it is true that the energy that presents in the house that we have Cancer of our natal chart, it is going to present possibilities of expansion, and there are things that can flow with this easiness if we put our part, if we do our part. So this transit, it is a great company with all the entrances that we are having of the transpersonal to new signs, because we are going to have, they are already happening, and we have been transiting a lot of changes in the individual and collective way. So the energy of Jupiter in Cancer, it is this possibility to recognize with this trust that brings us this warmness, the capacity to create, the capability to create this shelter inside of ourselves, to give what we need to gestate new ways of inhabiting life, and to accompany to our birth the times that we need to do so. We can rebirth many times with love, with sweetness, with softness. All of this is part of the energy of Cancer, and this transit could be something that is not that comfortable for people that have been rejected to put a look in their emotional world, that have been so rigid, so occupied with things of the matter only, or only focused in objectives, but in goals, but without attending that inner world. So still, it is an opportunity of growth. I wanted to take certain things that I mentioned in other videos to condense them in this one about the square between Jupiter and Saturn and Neptune, because in mathematical degrees, this continues to be active until the first days of July. But we are going to feel it strongly this month. So this energy of Saturn and Neptune in Aries, it is totally new and beyond what I've been commenting about challenges, obstacles, the limitation that could be presenting, because those things are going to be a signal to observe something that we need to take the responsibility of, actions that we need to mature or to rectificate, changes of direction, dissolutions of expectations and fantasies that are being born from conditioning aspects of ourselves, conditioned actually. Many times, something that I mentioned, it is that could be this square, a moment where we have to let go of something that was very known and familiar for us. Could be relationships, could be a space, whatever thing it is. And many times there is an illusion, an expectation of that thing covering up our emotions, our emotional needs, and actually that is not contributing to our growth, because we are the ones that we need to cultivate that in an independent way, with a healthy independence, because this is not about thinking that we don't need other people in order to make our experience in here. Of course not. But Saturn in Aries, it is quite linked with this, and also it is like lowering the anxiety regarding the desire of immediate results, because part of maturing, it is also understanding that if there is something that didn't occur in our experience, first of all, we have to ask ourselves if we genuinely took actions to materialize those results. And if the answer is yes, then I think it is also important to bring us to the humbleness of understanding that if that area of life didn't change yet, it is because there is something else that we have to learn about that experience. And I know that it's not easy many times to, to hit with these perceptions of reality. But this doesn't mean that expansion it is not going to happen. Perhaps it is not in the time that we do want, but especially when we know that we are putting the effort to create something. It is about trusting in that, and also it is about to be honest with recognizing if that effort is being invested in something that is truly aligned with a sense, a higher sense that is united to the soul, or it is only at the service of survival in the material plane. I am saying this because this process of elevation of consciousness collectively that we are going through, this invitation that do have, its painful phases, its rebirths and deaths. It is about knowing that we are responsible of re-equilibrating ourselves, and to not look for, putting the blame outside, or look for saviors, external saviors, because that is going to lead us with facing what we need to face, and we cannot run from ourselves. But again, this process, what I'm trying to say is that this process, it is to inhabit reality in a way that we can do the transitions through different cycles, each time with greater peace, learning to trust in what is being presented. And learning to trust, it is also going through fears. Trust, it is not being born from making only affirmations. It is being born from doing things and leading the path, even if we are feeling very vulnerable doing those things. So yeah, I think it could be also an invitation to take decisions from these inner certainties, the certainties of the heart, even if we don't have rational certainties about the path. Because the heart is going to tell us if we are truly choosing or not something that is aligned in coherence with our inner self. And this is like the most important call with this square. Recognizing the areas in which we could be in imbalance, and to put a boundary, taking a decision, and on the other side, trusting that that is operating in the highest good, that is creating the highest good, even if we are not yet seeing those things with the eyes of the body. And overall, I think well, it is still difficult perhaps, or we have difficulties as humans to come back to the present, because this is going to be a process. Squares with Saturn in Aries, they are invoking patience. They are requiring sustaining energy in the long term. And, as I said, Saturn in Aries, it is like lower the urgency of wanting things to be as we want right here, right now, and to learn and to ask ourselves, what is this moment showing us? The challenge could be could come from external situations, challenges with this square, but more than anything, I think it is about the inner oppositions that many times our conditioned mind produce, that are creating doubts, that are pushing us away from what our intuition is telling, because the paths that we are approaching this 2025 are openings without references. And this is something that is producing certain levels of discomfort, moving to the unknown. And without references means that we are going to be shown new ways of moving forward, but we also have to let go of old versions to incarnate those forms. So this is the preparation for the conjunction that they are going to have, Saturn and Neptune in Aries in February of 2026. But Jupiter is this sustaining energy. Represents also to question ourselves if we are repeating patterns of our ancestors that are not contributing, but also how we can take resources from them to move forward.